with this culture war playlist, I've sort of got to guess whether I think the video will be longer than 3 minutes or not. Because if it's shorter than 3 minutes, I'll make it a short. If it's longer than 3 minutes, then I can't make it a short. But either way, I want to talk to you about Welcome to Country, because it's in the news at the moment, because some neo-Nazi flop decided to boo the Welcome to Country at Anzac Day services in Melbourne. And, like, regardless of which side of the Welcome to Country debate you sit on, booing an Anzac Day ceremony is fucked up. Like, that's just... Anyway, for any of my American friends that don't know what an Anzac is, it stands for Australian New Zealand Army Corps, and Anzac Day is our, like, Remembrance Day. It's the day that we remember the Anzacs from World War I and II, and broadly speaking, the sacrifice that our armed servicemen and women make, you know what I mean? And so, some neo-Nazi dickhead, and we know he's a neo-Nazi, I'm not just being hyperbolic, he's been arrested for doing the, you know, the Elon salute, as you may call it, and whatnot. Like, he's... definitionally, it is not liable to say he's a neo-Nazi, the guy that got pulled out of the crowd for booing. And it's ignited this conversation about Welcome to Country, and so I want to talk to you about that. We're going to talk about it, and yeah, I'll chuck it in my Culture War playlist so that when my sons are older, they can see what my opinions were on all of the rah, 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 rah. Anyway, I'll chuck a splash in, like normal intro, and then we'll get into it. Just did a bit of a tidy up where I was sitting, because there were five cans just chilling there, like 50 cents. Anyway, if you don't know what Welcome to Country is, right, which if you're not an Australian, there's very little chance you'll know what it is, and if you are an Australian, evidently from the media discourse this week, there's pretty small chance you know what it is anyway, you know what I mean? It was... like, it's not what Aboriginal people have done traditionally across hundreds of years or thousands of years or whatever. That claim is incorrect. It is a ceremonial thing, a ceremonial process that is an adaptation of an old school Aboriginal custom, right? So it's not the custom. Aboriginal people didn't have, like, Welcome to Countries in the way that we know them. Bloke named Ernie Dingo, who's one of the most famous Australian Aboriginals, or at least one of the most famous Aboriginal Australians from, like, my childhood and stuff like that, right? Like, he was a travel show host, and I think he played football and stuff originally back in the day, but I knew him as a TV personality. Anyway, he invented this thing called Welcome to Country, where, like, an elder from the particular area, like, country we should have picked a different word, because this is a map of Australia. This is a map of Australia with all the different Aboriginal clans or tribes or nations or groupings. Like, the problem's the nomenclature, right? Like, the problem's the wording. And this Australia, like, when we do Welcome to Country, it's an elder from one of those individual places welcoming you to that individual locality, and it is, again, not what they have done for thousands of years, but an adaptation and a sort of a bringing together of what they did, which was, you know, like smoking ceremonies and like introductions and stuff, like elder to elder and whatnot. It's a modern adaptation of that Ernie Dingo created in the 1970s. And a lot of people in Australia don't like the fact that it was invented in the 70s, you know what I mean? But, like, that's 50 years ago now. That's a long time. Like, that's long enough. Like, Australia Day was only invented in 1990-something, you know? Like, we still fucking celebrate that and carry on about that every year, you know what I mean? Like, it's... Welcome to Country is at least 20 years, at least a generation older than Australia Day. So if you want to use the argument that it's not a real thing and that we haven't been doing it very long, then maybe you should reassess your thoughts on Australia Day. Because that's my argument for changing the date of Australia Day is, we haven't been doing it that long, really. You know what I mean? All things considered, we haven't been doing it that long. And so, yeah, if you're different, if you disagree with me about Australia Day, maybe consider that these are the same arguments, but we're on the opposite sides of them. Anyway, coming back to it, Welcome to Country is largely ceremonial. It is... Oh, what's happening with the lighting there? Let me switch arms again. As I said, Welcome to Country is largely ceremonial. It's largely virtue signalling. It is that's a human shit. Yeah, at this rest area. Fucking... one might say it's a metaphor for the conversation we're having. But anyway, it is largely ceremonial, mostly ceremonial, and at, you know, big events like the AFL Grand Final or the NRL State of Origin or like government services like Anzac Day, it's like it is a move to let Aboriginal people know that they are a part of our culture here in Australia, that they are valued members of Australia, and that we want to respect their heritage and their history like all the other countries in the world try to respect theirs, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, really. I don't know if welcome to country is like should be as controversial as it is. I don't really know where I sit on it. I know for a fact that I don't feel offended by being welcomed to like Darawal country or Gundengara country or like what the fuck ever country it is, because I know that they don't mean welcome to Australia. They're not welcoming me to Australia. We're all already here, you know? Like that's not a thing. Anyway, I don't really care. Much like with the trans topic in this playlist, I think it's a bit of a storm in a teacup, if I'm completely honest. I think white Australia has a very long way to go to reconcile its relationship with Aboriginal Australia, but that's not fully the point of this video. I think welcome to country, like it's not welcome to country that's divisive. Welcome to country shines a light on the division, but it's not caused the division, you know what I mean? And issues like this show that we are divided when it comes to race in Australia. We just are, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know where the answer is. I tend to side with the Aboriginals though, I'm not going to lie, because it's like on face value, you know, like, yeah, sure, you don't have to get welcome to Australia, but it's just some old dude or old Sheila being like, hey, our people used to do all these cool things in this area, and you know, I'd like to invite you into the area and welcome you and say, yeah, let's move forward together. And that's really fucking cool if you ask me, you know? Like, ostensibly, I like that. I like welcome to country. It makes me feel like we're trying when we should be, you know? I don't know. There are far more concrete things we could be doing for Aboriginal people than having a smoking session at the start of a footy game or whatever. But at the core of it, the reason we're having this debate this week is because a legally, like, this is not libel, someone who has done the crime and the time, a neo-Nazi booed at an Anzac Day service. It doesn't matter what his fucking opinion was, what cause he was booing for. He's a gronk. That's gronkerific. Like, that's dumb. That's that's unacceptable. And I'm on the opposite side to whatever side he was on. I was like, I didn't care either way. And then he booed at an Anzac Day service, and now I'm on the opposite side to him. So I'm with the Aboriginals. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's another video for the Culture War playlist. These guys give me money every month. I get money from them. I like money. Turning some of your money into mine as well would be dope. I'll put your name in that list. Anyway, have a scroll through the channel. Love yous. I'll see you when I look at you. You'll see me when you look at me. Thanks for watching.